Cleveland CBX2 versus Ping Glide 4.0. We are looking at a direct head-to-head forgiveness battle today. For most amateur golfers, this choice dictates whether you easily get up and down for par or walk away with a frustrating double bogey.
One is built like a forgiving cavity-back iron, and the other is a precise, compact, tour-shaped wedge.
Both promise to save your scorecard, but they go about it in completely different ways. Pick the wrong one and you'll absolutely feel it on every heavy pitch shot.
I'm Jake, your everyday 15 handicapper.
And I'm Mike, the data and specs guy. Welcome to Golf Gear's Showdown, where we put golf gear head-to-head. We hate watching people waste money, so we're giving you the honest truth today. Here's exactly why golfers compare these two. Cleveland built the chunky, hollow cavity CBX2 for the massive portion of players who already use cavity-back irons. Ping went the exact opposite direction. They offer a compact, refined profile with professional-style grinds.
We see this exact scenario in the shop all the time, and honestly, it drives me crazy. Guys walk in, look at a massive wall of shiny marketing hype, and just grab whatever the tour pros play on TV. Then they get on the course, catch one thin from 60 yards, and blade it straight into the parking lot. These two clubs have entirely different philosophies on what forgiveness actually is.
To figure this out, we're breaking this explainer down into 6 rounds. 1. The forgiveness matchup. 2. Mishits and turf contact. 3. Accuracy and feel. 4. Price and golfer fit. 5. Biggest buying mistakes. And 6. The final verdict.
Stick around for round 3. We're going to reveal something about distance control that most golfers completely miss. It's an open loop that costs guys strokes every single weekend.
Let's jump right into round 1, the forgiveness matchup. This is the headline category for distance and performance on bad swings. We're talking about thin shots, heel strikes, and nasty off-center contact. Based on design intent, the CBX2 is absolutely screaming forgiveness. Cleveland deliberately pushed the sweet spot out toward the toe. And let's be real, that's exactly where average guys like me actually make contact on a pitch shot.
You're spot on. They achieve that by putting a hollow chamber near the heel and a heavy weight out in the toe. This maximizes MOI, or moment of inertia. When you strike the ball near the toe, the mass of the club head naturally wants to twist open. By hollowing out the heel, Cleveland essentially builds a counterbalance. The physics dictate far better energy transfer, preserving your ball speed and your direction.
If you catch a traditional blade wedge on the toe, the ball just dies. It drops right into the front bunker. With the CBX2, that exact same strike still trickles onto the fringe. Now, the Ping Glide 4.0 isn't some punishing butter knife, but it is definitely chasing center face precision over maximum MOI. Round 1 goes to the Cleveland CBX2. It is the clear winner for off-center strikes.
I agree, but do not pull out your wallet for the Cleveland just yet. This entire head-to-head battle shifts drastically when we look at the one variable most golfers completely ignore.
Moving right into round 2, mishits and turf contact.
Face forgiveness is great, but let's be honest about where our rounds actually fall apart. Most short game disasters aren't slightly off-center hits. They're fat, chunked, heavy pitch shots. You hit 2 inches behind the ball, the leading edge digs a trench, and your shot goes 3 feet.
Cleveland tries to solve this with a dynamic sole. They automatically assign one of 3 grinds based purely on the loft you select. Their engineers predetermine the optimal bounce for every loft. A 50-degree gap wedge has a totally different sole shape than their 60-degree lob wedge.
Most golfers report that this makes buying incredibly easy. Cleveland makes the hard choice for you. If looking at a giant chart of wedge letters makes your head spin, this is a genuinely safe place straight off the rack.
Ping takes the opposite route. They give you 4 specific sole grinds to choose from. The S grind fits most neutral swings. The W grind provides the most bounce for steep, digging swings. The T is for firm turf, and the E is deeply dished out for bunker escapes.
Look, as a 15 handicapper with a steep angle of attack, playing the wrong grind feels miserable. Getting properly fit into a Ping W grind can actually fix your chunking far better than a massive cavity back ever could. Having the right grind acts like a ski gliding over the turf, instead of a shovel digging straight into the mud.
For round 2, the winner is the Ping Glide 4.0, but only if you get custom fit. If you're just guessing off the rack, the nod goes to the CBX2.
Fair call. But coming up next is that accuracy debate I teased earlier. We're going to see what happens when you actually have to stop the ball on a dime.
Here is round 3 and 4, accuracy and feel.
We're jumping into full shot, distance control, spin retention, and the psychological side of feel. Everyone wants to rip the ball backward like a pro. Neither of these brands is slacking on face technology.
Mike uses aggressive laser milling, Ping answers right back with precision milled grooves and a friction-adding emery face blast. Because of this high-end engineering, greenside spin is basically a push. They both grab the ball incredibly well.
Where they split is on full shots. The Glide 4.0 gives a much flatter, highly repeatable flight. When I'm staring down a 95-yard approach, common feedback suggests the CBX2 can occasionally float a little too high and lose distance just because of its thicker build. Moving to feel, we have a stark contrast. The Glide 4.0 features a responsive elastomer insert behind the face. It's soft, but it tells your hands exactly where you hit it, providing that precise feedback better players demand to dial in their strike.
Okay, I am going to stop you right there, Mike, because I disagree entirely. As an everyday player, I do not want my wedge punishing my hands every time I miss the center by a millimeter. The CBX2 has a muted gel back insert, and that keeps my confidence up. I don't need highly tuned sensory feedback on a chunk, I just need the ball to find the green without stinging my fingers.
I hear you, but from an objective, data-driven standpoint, better players need that feedback to make swing adjustments. Plus, looking down at address, the Glide 4.0 has that classic, compact, traditional shape. The CBX2 is undeniably thicker. If you play large irons, that's fine, but to a purist, the ping looks way better behind the ball.
We're giving round 3 and 4 to the Ping Glide 4.0. It takes the edge for distance control and clear feedback. Fine, Ping takes it for pure precision, but hold tight, because round 5 is where we break down the price. There's a smart shopper move coming up that most guys totally miss.
Round 5 and 6, price and golfer fit.
Let's tackle the budget differences. Both of these wedges require a completely different buying strategy if you want to get your money's worth. The Ping Glide 4.0 sits at a premium price point. Crucially, the cost of custom fitting is essentially built into that retail price.
Exactly, which brings us to the smart shopper move. If you buy a premium Glide 4.0 off the rack or grab one used online without getting fit for your specific grind, you are literally paying for a high-end customization service you aren't even using. That is just terrible math for your wallet.
Let's rapid fire the absolute best fit for various players. Mid to low handicappers who make consistent contact, Glide 4.0. Fast swings and aggressive diggers who take huge divots, Glide 4.0, assuming you get that W grind. Seniors and distance seekers needing maximum help getting the ball in the air, the nod goes to the CBX2.
For beginners, slicers, and high handicappers seeking forgiveness, the CBX2 is the undisputed winner. It gives you immediate help without making you do homework on turf conditions. If you're a budget buyer already playing chunky irons, the CBX2 is quite literally built for you.
The value winner is the Cleveland CBX2, hands down. It's highly competitive and widely available on the used market.
It's the easiest way to build a reliable setup on a strict budget. But before you make a final decision, we need to talk about the massive traps weekend golfers fall into.
Section 5, biggest buying mistakes.
I am taking this one because I've made every single one of these mistakes. Listen closely so you don't waste your money. Mistake 1 is ignoring bounce and grind. Most golfers report buying a cavity back to fix their chunks, but they still dig trenches because their bounce was totally wrong for soft turf.
Mistake 2 is copying a low handicapper. Just because a scratch player uses a thin-soled wedge doesn't mean you can get away with it.
Yep, I almost did that last year. I bought the exact low bounce wedge my favorite pro used. I chunked it for an entire season because my steep swing needed way more bounce.
Mistake 3 is buying one single expensive wedge instead of a matched set. Proper distance gapping matters so much more than brand prestige. 3 consistent, budget-friendly wedges will always beat one shiny wedge paired with 2 random mystery clubs.
Section 6, the final verdict.
Time to summarize this showdown with an honest, brand-neutral breakdown. For the CBX2, the pros are massive MOI, a toe-weighted sweet spot, and incredible value. The cons? Noticeable offset, a muted feel that hides helpful feedback, and you don't get to pick your own grind.
No holding back on the Glide 4.0 either. The pros are 4 distinct grinds, top-tier feedback for better players, and a clean, compact look. The cons are less forgiveness on toe strikes, a higher price tag, and an intimidating profile for high handicappers.
Let's cement the final winners. Best for distance control and turf interaction goes to the Ping Glide 4.0. If you're a mid to low handicap player or you have no budget limit and want a full custom fitting, the Ping wins.
Jake, best value goes to the Cleveland CBX2. If you're hunting the used market, it's the king. And the overall winner for the average American weekend golfer? It has to be the CBX2. It forgives exactly where we miss, and it saves you hard-earned cash.
Now you have to seriously assess your own game. Be brutally honest about your handicap, your local turf conditions, and your usual miss.
Are you a steep chunker playing in soft grass, or are you thinning it off hard pan dirt? Those require very different answers, so shop accordingly.
All right, it's your turn. Drop your handicap and your typical short game miss in the comments below. Which wedge are you finally putting in the bag?
Let us know what showdown you want to see next. Driver battle, iron battle, name it, and we'll run it. Make sure you subscribe to Golf Gear Showdown so you don't miss our next head-to-head gear explainer. Play smart, save your money, and we will see you in the